Hello, everybody, to the Nonprofit Edge. And this is an epic episode. So we are so glad you are joining us. If you are returning, welcome back. If you are new to the live stream, this is all about helping nonprofits navigate a really complex and challenging world today. And when I say epic, we have a panel of unbelievable young professionals who are going to be joining us. And this is all about the next gen members, attracting younger professionals for future sustainability. Because let's face it, these are your next members, and we really need to hear what they have to say, what their insights are, and what they really want from their nonprofit, so that you get some good ideas about what you have to do to reach, acquire, and really retain them. And so we have some good information for you today. And we're welcoming Joe back from vacation. So hi, Joe. We're glad to have you back.
Good to see you again.
So what I'd like to, yeah, it's good to have you back. And so what I'd like to do is I would like each one of our amazing people here today introduce themselves. So you know what, let's start with you, Shruti. You want to let everybody know who you are, give them a little bit of background. We're so glad to have you here today.
Thank you so much, Maureen. That was a great introduction. And hello, everyone. This is Shruti, and I'm experienced IMIS consultant. I've been with John Consulting since 2.5 years almost, and it's been very great working with nonprofits. I would always refer them as my nonprofits because we really care about them, and we love our nonprofit clients, and it's always great working with them with all their issues and everything. We love to resolve every day a new issue.
And I know that we are glad to have you because our clients love you. So you're doing great. So I'm so glad that you're here because I know that you have amazing things to say. So Sarah, give us a little bit of background about you.
Well, hello, I'm Sarah, and I went to McDaniel College to get my degree in marketing, and now I'm getting my master's. And I originally started at John Consulting as an intern a few years ago, and then now I'm back as a marketing coordinator while I'm still in school.
And I am loving working with Sarah as I am their fractional CMO, and she is just kind of like my right arm here. So I'm so glad to have you here, Sarah. And Purnima, last one on our panel. Tell a little bit about it.
It's really exciting to be on this panel. I recently graduated from Johns Hopkins with a master's degree in engineering management, and I have been working with John Consulting through my summer internship. I continued working with them through my last semester, and I've been full-time now. So it's been wonderful working with new clients, understanding a new environment. I previously was working as a consultant in a financial sector, so this sector is completely different. I'm enjoying the whole new experience here and helping them achieve their goals.
That's wonderful. And I know they're happy to have you as well. So, all right. So what I want to do is I want Joe to kind of paint the picture here. Why are we even doing this? And what's really happening out there right now in the climate? So Joe, I have a question. You know, what are nonprofits missing right now with attracting young professional? Where is there a little bit of a gap? And kind of paint the picture for us.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. Thanks for setting the table. And I'm really grateful to have some key team members here joining me today. Give the community a chance to meet some of the quality consultants that we have. I think, well, I want to start off by saying that when we transitioned from an independent consultancy to an agency in 2022, we ended up deciding that we wanted to just really focus on hiring from college, hiring interns and creating a temporary internship program that would then lead to future employment. I think that there are a lot of advantages of working with Gen Z. I think the Gen Z, they've really grown up. They've been immersed with technology their whole life. So a lot of Gen Z just have kind of innate, they're like what I would call a technologists. So even if you're not a computer programmer by trade, a lot of the younger generation, they have that really, they like technology. Technology's all around them. They're comfortable with it. They can pick up on it quickly. So, and I think what's happening in our culture is technology is accelerating cultural changes. And so the cultural norms are changing so rapidly that's kind of creating some threats, but also some opportunities for nonprofits. I think, the biggest threat obviously is if you don't adapt to the cultural changes, you're going to lose. You're not going to have the Gen Z buy-in, and that's obviously a very, very big threat. But there's also a great opportunity because those who make the right adjustments can really stand out and attract the really higher quality Gen Z clients. I find that since we started our program it was in the fall of 2023, we've retained 5 interns as full-time employees. And so I think we're finding that the best way to attract Gen Z is to hire Gen Z. So, you want to connect to clients who have Gen Z resources, you have Gen Z resources. There's definitely a connection there. I also think that, I think the younger generation, they have a different perspective and they have different demands. I think, what's really worked for us, and I wrote an article about this, is the servant leadership. And really just kind of that structure where it's flattened out, everybody's important, everybody's elevated and supported. It's all about humility and openness. Also profit sharing. I think younger folks, they want to, it's very important that they want to feel like they're being treated fairly. And then profit sharing, by definition, that's fair. I just think that this is going to be a great opportunity for the community to meet, 3 examples of what you can find out there working directly with colleges. I use the platform Handshake. So Handshake is a free platform for employers to interact directly with college interns. And it's a great tool for hiring. And I've hired all of my employees through Handshake. So I wanted to mention that as well. So, but yeah, that's pretty much sums up.
I think that's great because one of the biggest takeaways right there for me is when you have Gen Z working with clients, you are giving them the perspective of the Gen Z to the nonprofit, helping with them. This is how you attract non-members. They have the insight to help consult them to make those decisions, to get that strategy in place. So great way to kick this off. So, all right, so let's get to our panel of guests. I'm very excited about this. And we're going to start with Shruti. She liked this question when I kind of came up with them, when we kind of brainstormed this. So here it is. So when you hear about a professional organization, what's the first place you check to hear about it? Like a website, social media, and what makes you stop scrolling and actually click to kind of hear more about it?
Right. So first of all, I'll do a Google search about the organization and I'll go through the website as well as the LinkedIn so I can verify the credibility of the organization, right? So it really matters. The website really matters. I look for a clean, sophisticated design first, and then I learn more about who the organization is for and what value it offers. That's an important thing for me. And then where exactly I stop and I'll click is when I find the clear benefits of the organization. It can be through events, it can be for career growth, or it can also be for the member highlights. So I would also see in the social media, I'll see if the content is updated. It's not any outdated content, or if there are any events that's going on, which I'll be interested in. That's an important thing for me. And the another thing where I would stop and click is when I see the prices, which is good for me. And then I'll go ahead and I'll do apply, be a member of the organization.
That's really good information because I'm hearing that if it isn't a very user-friendly website, you're going to kind of bounce, right? If it looks really dated and they didn't seem to care about updating it, to the way the Gen Z people like to visualize things, really kind of be attracted to them, they're kind of not keeping up to date with what this generation really likes. So they're kind of
True.
behind the times there, right there. So very good points. Very good points. Thank you. All right. So Purnima, how important are reviews, testimonials, proof of outcomes, like people like me, are representing and deciding on things to join? So what would sway you?
I think reviews and testimonials are very important. It and with reviews and testimonials, it also has to feel genuine. Like it's like, oh, this person actually feels this way about this organization. So it gives you a perspective of how a members feels about the organization, and that, oh, so that gives you a different perspective. Oh, I would maybe feel like this about this organization, and you see the benefits through a member, and that is more important for me. And when we talk about representation with any organization, right, especially if you're an early career person, you want to see more people in the earlier career perspective, or like few years above you, so that you can understand what you want in your career path. Or especially like if you want to be mentored, especially you want that idea of, oh, does this organization is open to mentoring and helping the new gen actually achieve their goals. So that representation is very important for me when I'm looking for an organization. Do they have that on their website? Do they actually talk about these things? Yeah, those are a few of my thoughts, Maureen.
So when you go to the website, would you like to see those testimonials pretty quick? Like,
Yes.
bam,
Yeah,
it's here.
I would want to be on the home page,
Yeah.
so that it is highlighted. I don't want to go through like two other clicks to actually reach that, because
Yep.
like the attention span is very low, as you already know. So if it is,
That's what we're talking about. Yeah. Yeah. What you're saying is I'm not hunting for this.
yes,
So this is important for everybody out there, nonprofit, for website design, which we do, a lot of working with clients on this to build something that, I'm not hunting. You
Sure.
you give it to me, right?
Yeah.
Right. So good points. Good point. So Sarah, this is, kind of leading into this is, what is the biggest mistake organizations make when trying to talk to that younger professional online, like the messaging, right?
Yeah, going along the lines of what Purnima said, is basically we want authenticity. I think in a world with AI and not seeing like what's real, what's fake, we really want authenticity from our brands and our organizations. And with our generation, I think that instant gratification with our content is really huge. So if we don't see the importance right away,
Oh, I think we may be having a little bit of Wi-Fi trouble with Sarah. Let's see if we can get her back. If not, we may come back to her. All right, let's come back to her, because we're going to go back to Sruthi, because I think this is one question I really think is super important. It's about price, because people are budget conscious. I don't care what generation you are today. So do you prefer memberships that are tiered, pay as you go, student, early career period priced, or try before you buy? And Sarah, we're going to circle back with you in a minute. Which one do you like, or which one do you think your peers like?
Yeah. So that's really an important question, Maureen. I totally agree. Because I myself is a member in the nonprofit organization. It's called IEEE, and I've been their member since I think around 6 to 7 years, right from my undergraduation. And it helped me to take membership during my undergraduation because there are some price differences in between a student and a young professional. So while I was student, I was, of course, I'll be looking at my budget, and I look what opportunities and what learning I can do from the nonprofit. So that made a real good difference. I wouldn't have take membership if the price is same for young professionals as well as students. I could take the membership, and it did help me for my project during my undergrad. It's a major project though. So the pricing really matters. And one other thing I would like to see most organizations do is try before you buy, or a
Yeah.
trial option. That's definitely be worthy if organizations choose to have it, so members can experience before committing. And that's what I think about this.
I am so in agreement. I mean, think about all of technology. Don't they have you do a 2-week trial, like build a website, and then you are brought in, like Canva? I mean, every tech platform, or everything seems to be, let me give you a little bit of tasting the goods. You get to practice with it. I mean, but Joe, you've been doing this a long time. Are any of the nonprofits giving them 3 months free, come in and take a course, see what we have, and then they get to know it, like it? Is anybody doing this?
Yeah, I mean, that's what you would call like a temporary membership, and that was something that was I feel like it was more common decades ago than it is now. I mean, it's still a thing; clients still do it. Technically, it's very easy to do, because IMUS is really it's real easy to configure security with IMUS. So basically, you just have to, what most clients will end up doing is they'll create an activity type called temporary membership, and then in that field they'll have a through date. And then basically, if a person has that activity, they just get the membership security rights until that through date. And then, you could take it a step further and then generate the invoice. So that way they've got a through date, and then it gets cut off, but they're already set up to join. So they have a link and they're good to go. So from a technical standpoint, doing a trial membership is pretty straightforward. And I think it's something that giving a taste. Another thing about giving a taste is organizations a lot of times will show at a high level a lot of the resources they have, but then when you go to try to get in-depth information, it's like, oh, that's how you promote membership. So a lot of organizations that strategy will give give the general public a taste of this is what you can get without sharing everything. So
Yeah, I think in consulting that is definitely maybe a strategy to consult people on and maybe see the outcomes and show how much of a benefit this could be.
Yeah, I mean, all major software brands give everything free to students. That's what you do. You give it free to students and add that extra, that dimension. I mean, having that younger generation adds more dimension to your organization. So it's a win-win.
Yeah, definitely. So Sarah, let's return back to you real quick, where we talk about, those mistake organizations talking to younger professionals, because we lost you for a minute. Let's go back to you.
Yeah, excuse my technology problems. But I think the way nonprofits can really capitalize on this is doing like behind the scenes interactions with their executive board or with their members, showing like member spotlights, different ways to see what really goes on in your organization. And I think people really like to see that, and how you're going to continue to grow and what you're bringing to the table.
So your generation's pretty savvy in picking up the fake stuff, aren't you? You can kind of really identify when people are faking it. When the brands are really like, this is, very AI generated. We've got the movie stars doing this. I don't think anybody wants the brand movie stars anymore. They really want real people out there demonstrating that, So I think the endorsement thing is kind of over with this generation, isn't it? Yeah. So very, very good points. So, all right. For Nima, what would make you automatically renew your membership, right? And what would make you cancel it without even thinking twice?
Yeah. So basically, I think with our generation, everyone is tech savvy mostly, and then you have a lot of stuff that is freely available over the internet. So when you're paying for a membership with a nonprofit organization, you look for do I get a value out of the money that I've paid? Are there events? Are there newsletters? Is there like personally for me, is there, when I'm looking at my career, is there career growth? Is there some mindset there? So if I find some value in that, a bang for my buck, if I can put it in simple terms, I think I will be motivated to renew it. But as after I've been a member for a year, but I don't see any value it adding to my career or for my personal life, I think that's when I, without any thought, I'm gonna be canceling that membership. So, like, what does this organization offer that is not freely available to me anywhere else? What does it make it easy for me? So that's also something I would look at. Noreen.
So this is a question definitely Sarah gravitated to that I'm going to ask her, but I do want to ask you, and I'm going to also ask Sruthi, what is the one benefit that you find most valuable? What is it that, with all the things that a nonprofit offers, which one would you find most valuable?
I think personally, mentorship for me.
Mentorship?
Because, yeah. Because it is difficult to find like good mentors and have that talk, even though LinkedIn is a bigger platform where you actually connect to people. But if you are with a set of nonprofits who have like similar values with a career path that you would look at, I think that is something I would personally gravitate towards.
And I know, Joe, you take that very seriously. You're very passionate about mentorship. And I think that's something in your organization that you offer.
Yeah, I mean, I think to us, one thing I didn't mention with our internship program that's an important component is having some face time. I think so. We actually have a career center that we pay for in Owings Mills, Maryland, that we're only in there most of the time 1 day a week or 2 days a week. But I think if you are going to hire the younger folks and offer these internships, you should have some sort of face time. A hybrid approach is good. The face time helps to build those relationships, and it builds there's a level of trust and connection you're going to get from in-person time that you're not going to get if it's like a fully remote. So I think a lot of organizations, they've kind of moved from fully remote to hybrid for that reason.
Yeah.
One thing that's, what a lot of folks my age don't realize is that, so on my first job I was 11. I delivered newspapers. I had to go collect, and I was like hustling and doing businesses when I was, a teenager. A lot of the Gen Zs, they've never had a job. They're 21, 22 years old. So a lot of times employers will say, oh my gosh, this behavior, it's not a behavior issue, it's an experience issue, and a lot of these interns, they just need to have a chance to really like learn what the norms are and have that face time and have that interaction. And then of course, mentorship, when you have face time and you're with people, you're working, you're collaborating. And then, mentorship is obviously very important to us. And, but it's not just mentorship from a technical standpoint, but mentorship from a consulting standpoint. And believe it or not, actually a lot of younger people can learn technology faster than they can learn the consulting side. Interacting with people always takes a long time to get good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Good point.
Yep.
Now, Sarah, this question originally was going to go to you, but I do think it was appropriate for everybody. So what's the number one benefit for you? I think you had a different answer: career, community, learning, job leads, mentorship. So tell me what you think is most important.
So I also think mentorship is extremely important, but I think also for our generation, career growth and just general learning is really, really important as well. I think everybody in a job and in life wants to feel important. That's about our egos, and having that mentorship mentality kind of makes us feel important in our workplace or whatever community we want to be a part of. So I think even here at John Consulting, it's more of a level playing field. We want all of us to get better and learn every single day. And it's not like you're at the bottom of the pyramid and you feel scared to speak up. So I think having that mentor and learning is really great to put into a nonprofit organization and offering different certifications or workshops to build your skills is really important to make Gen Z feel like they're coming to work every day or bringing something to your organization of value.
I think that's important what you said. Courses, maybe certifications, maybe conferences, anything that you could demonstrate to a client or an employer that you have professional growth, you know, above and beyond somebody who could be a professional you're in competition with. So really, really good point. And Shruti, do you want to answer this as well?
Yeah, I have one point as well. So while I was a student, for any of their projects, they'll join in a technical nonprofit, right? So they'll see if there are any journals related to what topic they're interested in, and if they want to publish their own research papers, there should be an area for the nonprofit where they can publish with us, with the organization. So this is something would also be what students looks for.
Yeah.
That's what I look for as well.
Wow, good point. Good, and I bet nonprofits haven't even thought about this.
Well,
Yeah.
a lot of them do. A lot of them do. But I mean, I think
Do
it's
they?
low hanging fruit. Yeah. I mean, I think, you know, basically creating a volunteer system where people can write articles is
Yeah.
something a lot of professionals jump at the chance.
Yeah.
And you know, because it boosts it elevates them in their own community.
Yeah.
You know, it's a win-win because then the nonprofits get free expertise, and then the professionals get exposure. So it's really beneficial for everyone.
Yeah. Wow. This has been unbelievable. When I said epic, and I have to tell you, the amount of people who have been tuning into this is incredible. So I know that this was an important topic, and I cannot thank you enough. I wish we had more time. I say we only have 30 minutes. It flies. Joe, I would like you to kind of just sum this up and, you know, say you have so much experience. We talked about you hiring Gen Z. What would be the one closing thing you would say to nonprofits to move forward with attracting this younger generation for sustainability for them? Like what's the one thing you would say to them to move forward?
Well, I know, you know, so most of my friends who are in positions of hiring or they work for the, you know, government or public sector, you know, they're usually using a paid like Indeed or some career services, and those are expensive. I would recommend that employers just deal directly with the interns yourself through platform Handshake. You know, cut out the middleman. It's an added expense, and you know, their motivations are not necessarily going to match your motivations. I'd also say that when in the interview process, you know, don't hire just based off of technical skills. Technical skills are important, but I think you want to test for, you know, for lack of a better word, just how you know, people's humility and just how much they care about others, and just their willingness to kind of give and to like, you know, just more of an emotional IQ. You know, kind of test for that in addition to the technical skills. I also think that it makes sense to do a temporary internship. I think, you know, doing a temporary, you know, you get, you know, juniors and seniors in colleges, and we look at undergrad and graduates, you know, they're motivated to get an internship, and they're willing to work hard. And I think, you know, nonprofits should consider doing temporary internships, you know, 8 to 12 weeks. And then give them what they need to be able to check that box. Yes, I got that experience. And then you really get a chance you pretty much within the first 4 to 6 weeks, we kind of know with people.
Yeah.
Okay, someone we want to keep long term. Yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up. And I'm just very grateful for 3 of our top employees here today. Set the stage and show the example, and you know, for those nonprofits out there, I mean, there are some really wonderful Gen Z folks out there. They just need a little bit of mentorship. They need a little bit of help. They don't have the experience a lot of us older folks had when we were teenagers out there hustling for a buck, and just a little bit of patience, and you know, yeah, that's it. I'm just really thank you guys for joining and taking the time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And there's no better way to attract new members than to have somebody on your team that can give you that perspective on
Yeah.
how to do it. And what they gave you today is a starting point, unbelievable insights that are so relevant, some great solutions here for you to go ahead and implement like immediately. You can get off this live stream and do it today. So unbelievable. So I cannot thank you, ladies, enough, just top notch. And we are at that 30-minute mark. And I want to say to everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We have another great topic, again, a couple weeks. It's called Beyond Page Views, measuring what really matters on your nonprofit website. Come on, we just talked about websites. What's going to make these people bounce, or what's going to make these people stay on there so that you can start converting them, right? So we're going to have lots of great information. So we hope you'll join us. Please go ahead and follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and our YouTube page. And again, we also offer you a free consult with these amazing people, including Joe. And you'll get to know us a little bit better and learn about how we can solve your problems. So go to johnconsulting.net. And we are going to end our session today. Thank you again, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you all.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.